And welcome back to the UK Nationals 2016 stream. I'm being joined here by Lucas Watson, the winner of the round 3 feature match, who's playing Madolchi Kaiju. So, why is my first question?
In all honesty, I find this format very, very boring.
Okay,
I
that's fair.
find Monarchs, Cosmo very boring decks to play. I thought Pepe and their various variations.
Yeah.
I find they brick a lot. Merely this bricks, but I like the idea of Magic Spectres. But I find against Cosmo, if they summon a Dark Destroyer or a Dark Planet, there's very, very, very little outs to out that.
Yeah.
So I figured, why not go with something that doesn't target, that can disrupt their plays, and then allow me to regain my resources back.
Which is the Madolchi, which seemed very well. And it's also, you've got the... You can definitely tell how much you were clearly hating on Cosmo when you've got the Kaiju engine, which also doubles up as outing the Monarch Tribute monsters. So you can get the main off and then use your, very cleverly, the Terima Zoo to actually put your Kaiju monsters back in the deck. I really like this, actually. I was absolutely not expecting it, and I think the Speedway Terratop in game 1, you totally outplayed Jack there because he had no idea what you were playing.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of people, when they see a Terratop, they automatically think you're playing BA.
Yeah.
So you automatically have the advantage on that because they think, okay, that's fine, let that resolve. And then if you've got a Hookake or an Angeli, you literally go in because then they can't stop it. I think it's a 3-card combo with Terratop, Instant Fusion, and like an Angeli, and you can literally just OTK.
Yeah, we saw with the Blade Armor Ninja. It was actually really good that you got the Effect Veiler out of him on the Speedway Terratop because he obviously thinks you're playing BA. He jams you with a monster you can't do anything with. You get to end your turn and you're just like, no, here's my follow-up, and you lose.
I'll be honest, I was so hoping that wasn't a Drowning Mirror Force set, because I probably would have cried, but...
You'd be surprised, actually, from all the lists I've been looking at so far, very few people are actually playing Drowning Mirror Force, despite how strong it is.
I wanted to put it in the side, just because I find my Monarch matchup very, very weak, because, like you said, with the whole Kaiju being able to tribute over their Monarch, I always find they have a Monarch Stormforce for a Prime and an A for anywhere, so even though you're getting rid of their one monster, they're able to just tribute anyway.
Sure. All right. I've just been told we have to not tap the table because you guys are probably all getting rattled at home listening to that. I just really, really like this. When we look at the game 2, when the opponent summons Ultimate Falcon in Burning Abyss, which is something completely unexpected.
Well, I had a heads up about that earlier. Apparently, I had heard people were doing that. I was like, okay, well, I'm fine because, again, I can just Kaiju over it. And he summoned it. I was like, well, I'm going to have to neg myself, but I can't lose from this. I can't be killed. So I'm like, okay, I'll just neg myself, get Kaiju, attack over it, and then next turn just back to
You
slumber.
just seem to be like grinning ear to ear, and you're like, oh yes, go, please, please
it's
play the
funny
Falcon.
because this was the first deck I actually competitively played. When
Madolchi?
Yeah, it was the first deck I built out myself. I mean, I played Dark Worlds back when I first started, but that's buying free structure decks.
Yeah, well, you know, the current format could have some similarity to that, to be
so
fair.
it's literally, I bought this and I kept it in my cupboard at home. So it's my first deck I built. I didn't ever want to get rid of it. It's like a sentimental value.
Yeah.
And what a couple of guys were like, well, why don't you play it? You're very good with it. And I had one of the guys of my club help me put the Kaiju stuff in, help me test. And like I said, it's got a very, very strong Monarch, Cosmo matchup.
Cosmo. So here's a question, because you're playing a real outsider deck here. How do you go about building your deck? Do you look at the best field the opponent can build and then say, can I build a better field? Or are you looking at very key things like the monster that matters the most in the format, or like Dark Destroyer or something?
I find the back row is very tricky with Cosmo because if they set anything, it could either be a Strike, a Call of Wanted, or a Cosmojo.
Yeah.
I actually had that with my round 1. He decreed me, but he had a Cosmojo set.
Right.
So
okay.
I was like, well, I'm going to shuffle the face down because I had Tiara Masuda him. I shuffled the face down because I figured the decree was hurting him more than it was going to be hurting me.
Yeah, you're only playing like a handful of traps.
I mean, I sided in Shadow Mirror and I actually drew both of them.
Ah, okay.
But and I actually Chaos Hunted him at the same time. Which,
nice.
Again, Chaos Hunter is nuts against Cosmo. As soon as they go Dark Destroyer and they target themselves and you've got a Chaos Hunter, you're in such a leading position where they can't do anything because you've just negged them.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, all of a sudden what should have been a massive turn for me is falling apart. Okay, so for anybody else who's interested in building these kinds of rogue decks or decks that are outliners, what advice would you give them to things to actually think about and when they're crafting these things? Because I actually find trying to succeed with something like this is significantly harder than just playing, hey, the best deck that people that you've got the world working on, because you're kind of on your own with these.
Yeah, I mean, it's at first I wanted to play more of a control build. I actually wanted to put trap trick stuff in. I figured that actually helps you brick more, because you can open up a handful of traps and no monsters, and you've got no combo pieces going on. If you've got a very good locals or a good group of friends, they will always be there to help you out. Like I said, a couple of my friends have known me for like 3 years. They've known how well I do with this deck, so they've always been able to help me with choices. I mean, before the weekend, I actually was only playing one Effect Veiler in the main.
Right,
and I had decided, and I figured, because my Monarch matchup is so weak, I want to be able to stop them. And I noticed a lot of people, Rivalry of Warlords.
Yeah, that seems to be picking up a lot.
So I actually put the wind-up Zen mains in the extra, because the amount of times that I've had it flipped on me when I've gone with the Speed Voids, I figured it's a main deck out straight away, and it puts them in a bit of a position where they can't then OTK me.
Yeah, people have really been considering Rivalry. I mean, it's got down to the point where instead of playing like Jack's Knight, people were looking for a fairy monster so they could still...
I'd see it as like Bugo or like
something from Metal Raiders or Spell Ruler or something.
A very old card, and people are so worried about Rivalry. I mean, cause again with the Monarch, I've actually put in Mask Restrict, which stops my Angeli, because I'd rather stop them more than hurt myself a little bit.
They can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! With Mask Restrict. You can just play a different combination of cards.
Admittedly, this deck has a ton of flaws where I can't play Iron Wall. I had to be persuaded to put Mask Restrict.
Mask Restrict.
Rivalry hurts. So, ironically, where it's a very powerful, I say it's a bit like a glass cannon. Oh. It can be very powerful, but a lot of stuff hurts you in the same process that you want to be siding in for the meta.
Yeah, I see.
So it's tricky.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. I wish you best of luck for the rest of the weekend. Hope to see you again in the Top Cut. Guys, we'll see you very soon for round 4. Please sit tight, enjoy the music that you kept asking for, and we'll see you soon.